Okay, well, it has been quite the winter, hasn't it? I mean, yes. There's been sprinkles of warm weather that made wearing our short sleeves, or at least rolling up our long sleeves, feel like a good idea. And then there have been blasts of icy wind and wet snow that made the best option seem to be to stay home under a warm blanket, have a snow day, and drink hot cocoa. So first of all, I want to thank you for being here and through the snow. And I thank all of you who are watching and drinking your hot cocoa. We don't care, as long as you're here with us. And the good news is that spring is just around the corner. I mean, it's less than 2 weeks away. In fact, as the saying goes, it is so close we can almost taste it. Though when it gets here, it might taste like a snow cone. Yeah. Oscar Wilde famously wrote, "Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that they mean something else. And that makes me quite nervous." Well, in this case, and for today, that's absolutely true. We mean something else. But we don't need to be nervous about it. And in fact, we can be happy about it. Because as we've talked about before, and as we'll talk about some more, our experience of our life throughout our earth days and all the moments that fill them is up to us. Because no matter what the weather and no matter what other events may come our way, we get to decide how we'll think about whatever it is and how we're going to feel about whatever it may be. I mean, if it were spring always, all the time, if there was no this weather and that weather, we would have no contrast to have a personal preference about. But this world is full of contrast in everything for a reason. The 19th century poet Anne Bradstreet wrote, "If we had no winter, the spring would not be so pleasant. If we did not sometimes taste adversity, prosperity would not be so welcome." I mean, if every environment and culture around the world, or even in the United States, was the same, if everybody in our neighborhood was just like us, there'd be no distinctions for us to see, and there would be no diversity for us to choose a thought or feeling about. And we wouldn't realize, without choosing, that we are thinking, feeling beings of choice. But we are, and we know it. We know that we choose between. We know that we think about and feel about all sorts of things. And it's important for us to keep in mind the power our thinking and choosing has in our life and our experience of the world. As we make a choice about anything and notice the external results of our choice about it in our life, we become aware that we have been created with the power to create our own individual life experiences. our own version of reality as the physical forms and expressions that we individually see. That's power. Our life is spiritual first, fueled by creative spiritual energy. That's why it's important for us to connect the dots between our choices and our experience. For us to notice that what we think and focus on in our mind takes form in some way, even if it's just a gut feeling within us, and affects our experience of ourself and the world. If we don't notice the relationship between thought and experience, we'll mistakenly believe that we are a victim of circumstances. It'll seem that life happens to us, that it's coming this way, and often chaotically. And that events outside of us hold power to have an effect on us without our agreement. But as we said last week, the only freedom that exists in all the universe, and it is everything, is in the knowledge that we create our own reality and that we can feel the way we choose to feel. We've all been created equally to express ourself in our earth life in our own individual way. We've been given self-direction through our freedom of choice and opportunities for self-correction through the experiences our choices bring about. Science of Mind tells us self-choice would have no real meaning unless it were backed by the power to externalize this choice and experience the effect of it. All of us, not just some people, but all of us have self-choice. All of us have the power to externalize our choices and to experience the effect of them as our individual life. Not one of us has been left out. Not one of us anywhere is a victim of circumstances. To paraphrase the beginning portion of the U.S. Declaration of Independence, I'm going to put it this way. Spiritually, we hold this truth within us that must become self-evident to us. That all beings are created equal. That all beings are endowed by our Creator with unlimited, unalienable rights. And among these are individual life expression and absolute freedom to pursue happiness through self-choice. Everyone, wherever they are. Which brings us to the title of today's talk, All Things Being Equal. Now, we've probably all heard that phrase before and maybe even used it ourselves when we were making a choice or declaring our preference between two things that appeared to have the same traits. Like something as simple as two sofas that are the same size and shape and fabric and quality, price, and only different color. And so, all things being equal, I might prefer the green one. If there were only green sofas everywhere, there would be no opportunity for me to make a choice. But that's what we're all about here, making choices. The physical world is like a rainbow, and the beauty of it is that all colors are distinctive but equal. A Course of Love tells us we exist in the embrace of love, like the layers of light that form a rainbow, indivisible and curved inward upon each other. One life, one rainbow. Our preferences and choices don't separate us. They add to the diversity and curiosity and multiformity of individual expression within one inseparable, indivisible life that we share. There's no bad colors. There's no good colors. There's just colors for us to choose from and create with individually, no matter what we decide to do with them. All colors being equal, someone else might prefer a purple sofa. Preferences and choices are personal and individual. Conflict, anger, self-righteousness, and a desire to control the world around us stem from the misunderstanding that our preferences and choices, individually and personally, are gospel. The only ones that have value for everyone. I mean, we might not openly argue with someone who chose a purple couch, but we might quietly hold an opinion about their taste. But an opinion is just an opinion. It's only when we place value on our opinion over the opinion of someone else that problems arise. The way of the heart tells us the result of many, many minds choosing to value the right to judge is the effect we call our world, in which everything seems to be expressed in conflict, struggle, butting of heads, and the Armageddon of opposite ideas running into each other. And so it goes on to say, listen well and carefully. All events are neutral. You are the one that places the value upon it. Beneath this visible world of appearances, of this and that, in physical form and expression, is one power that backs every unalienable right of everyone to choose. The law of attraction that brings our choices into manifestation never says, whoa, you sure you want to see that in action? It simply gives us what we're focused on. The universe doesn't judge us or have an opinion about our choices. It gives us what we've asked for through the vibration of our thinking. And even if our focus has been on what we don't want, we get to experience the effect of that focus. Abraham Hicks tells us the true secret of the law of attraction is not how to learn to attract what you prefer. It's how to learn to let go of what you don't want so that you can let in what is trying to get to you automatically. Another secret is for us to mind our own business, for us to mind our own mind and stop focusing on what others are thinking and doing and choosing. There are many, many minds choosing to focus on either what they want or what they don't want, and calling experience to them, including us. We all experience life differently, a little differently or a lot differently. Even when we believe that we're seeing and experiencing life in exactly the same way. Everything that appears in this world of physical form is the externalization of some thought. Ours, someone else's. But a thought is just a form. A thought in form is just a form until meaning and value is given to it by us. Things would just float around and have no power to do anything without our giving meaning and value to it. If we believe our physical eyes can tell us all we need to know in any moment, if we believe that they can tell us what's spiritually true, and we draw conclusions and create interpretations of events based on what our physical eyes can see, and then insist that our view is the only right view, we're simply adding to the conflict and struggle and butting of heads and the Armageddon of opposite ideas running into each other in this world. When we ignore the spiritual truth that all beings have been given self-choice, that we are all endowed by our Creator with unlimited, unalienable rights. When we ignore that or don't think about that or try somehow to make it untrue, we might seek to limit another's absolute freedom to pursue happiness individually. And when we do, when we seek to stop another individual from pursuing happiness, we lose our ability to be happy, because conflict can't make us happy. That's why A Course in Miracles asks, would you rather be right or happy? We don't know what anyone else came into this world to learn. Our only responsibility is to discover why we're here. So a good question for us to ask ourselves this morning is, if all events are neutral until I declare what they mean to me, what do I choose to give value to in this world? We're never so right that everyone should agree with us. We're only right as we agree with our own inner being. And our inner being gives value to all life. Abraham Hicks tells us you have a core vibrational frequency. It is purely uniquely you. It's a beacon. It's like a lighthouse. It shines. It radiates purely that signature frequency of your unique being. There's no one like us. Individual. No one like you. It never stops radiating that light, that frequency, that energy. Never. Learning to trust beyond what our eyes can see isn't always easy. In fact, sometimes it's really difficult. But it's much more powerful and rewarding than believing there's nothing more to this world and to life itself than physical form. Where there is no fight, there can be only peace. Where there is no judgment, there can be only love. And where there is acceptance of equal freedom for all, there can only be joy. We're not here in this earth life as a penalty with all this contrast. We're here because we're blessed as living, creative beings. We get to use this human experience with all of its this and that to expand and extend our individual expression of the love that created us. To become greater and greater individual expressions of that love. The life we see around us is our own individual being. All of it. Because it is the life we're individually seeing and giving meaning and value to. All things being equal, we can choose to give value only to love and peace and joy and abundant good. And let the radiance of the pure signature frequency of our own unique being light up the world. Namaste. All righty. Well, this is the time of our service when we get to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being there. Thank you for caring about this message and your own spiritual expansion and growth. It's a beautiful thing. The more of us who care, the more love we have to share. So thank you. And thank you for your financial support that keeps us speaking, getting together, sharing the one life together. Without you, there wouldn't be us. So if you've been wondering how you might support us financially or support us more financially, our treasurer isn't here to tell you. So I'll give it a go. You can contribute through PayPal. And our address is lec2512@gmail.com. You can contribute on Facebook. If you found us on Facebook, that's the spot, but don't do it now because you'll disconnect us. You can go to our website, which is lecflint.com, and hit the donate button. That's a good one, and you could listen to the talk again or read the synopsis. So that's a nice way to do it. And or you can send a check to our P.O. Box, which is quickly becoming not so new, but it's the Life Enrichment Center, P.O. Box 321294, Flint 48532. Aha, I did it. Yay me. Okay, and for the rest of us, here in the sanctuary, our beautiful gratitude receiver is going to come forward and receive your beautiful gratitude. And we're all going to listen to the song Grateful by Daniel Namad and Nemo Patef.